Alright, since I've already started, let me just do a 20-second recap. Independent events, Lisa has 60% chance of making free throws. She's doing one-on-one opportunity or a one-and-one or two free throw opportunities. The simulation is designed, we're going to use the calculator to simulate the foul shots, simulate two foul shots. We're going to look at the first one. If the first one's a success, we're going to look at the second one to determine whether it's a success or not. Now, determining it, we have to tell the calculator has to be able to tell us whether she made or she missed one. And there's a really simple way of doing this. We're going to use just digits, single digits, and we're going to use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're going to use these. The first 6 digits, now you can get as fancy as you want to, but when we're doing these, you want to keep things very simple. So, for example, since the probability of a make is equal to 0.6, if I wanted to put that over 10, what would be the numerator of a fraction that is equal to 0.6? 6. So let's go ahead and say the first 6 digits, 0, 1, 2, that's the third one, that's the fourth, fifth, and sixth. These right here, 0 to 5, are makes, because that represents 6. And from 6 to 9 are misses. So when we tell our calculator, and the calculator has a feature that's going to say, all right, we can tell the calculator to give us 2 random digits, or 2 random integers. And we'll look at them. If it's 0 to 5, it's a make. And if it's 6 to 9, it's a miss. So here's what it's going to look like. If you go to your calculators, open up a new document. You want to not save that. And then you're going to want to be in a calculator. This is the easiest way to do it. So you want to be in a calculator. Now, if you go to menu, so we're going to go menu. What do you think we're going to hit next? Number 5, probability. So we're going to go to probability. And then I want you to go to random, which is number 4 in this case. So we're going to go down to random. And then I don't want just a random number, because then it'll give us all sorts of different numbers, decimals and everything. I want a random integer. So we want to click on integer. So we want menu, probability, random, and then integer. And it gives us something called randint. You could spell it out if you want to. And it has a parentheses. We're going to put in 3 numbers. The first number is going to be the lowest number that it's going to give us, the lowest integer. So we're going to type in a 0. So we're going to put in a 0, and then we're going to put in a comma. Now what's the biggest integer we want? 9. So it'll be 0, 9. And then we're going to do another comma. How many integers do we want it to tell us? Well, how many shots? What's the maximum number of shots that Lisa can take at any one time? 2. She's not shooting 3-pointers. So it's only for 2. So we'll go 2. So it'll be rand int 092. So this will give me the lowest integer. That guy's the highest integer. And this is going to be the number of integers we get. And then we want to make sure that's what we're going to type in. Rand int 0, 9, 2. If we did 0, 9, 10, it's going to give us 10 integers. We don't want that. We want 0, 9, 2, and it's going to give us, for example, 0, 8. Now, it should be. Did you get a 0, 8? Good, because it should be different for everybody. It is a computer, though, so sometimes they all start at the same. Well, whatever it is, the first number is going to represent the first shot. Now, for me, did she make the first shot? Is that a make or a miss? It's a make, because we're going 0 to 5 are makes. So 0 to 8, she made the first one. So here's what's basically going on. You're going to get a make or a miss. If you get a make, it'll be a make or a miss. If you get a miss, you're done. Now, if you put on the worksheet, there's 40 different blanks. What you're going to do is, if you get a make and a make, you're going to put 2 in there. Or even better yet, you can do this, 1 and 1. If you get a make and a miss, put a 1 and a 0. If you get a miss, put a 0. So 0, 8, what was the 0? Was that a make or a miss? It was a make. And then the second one was a miss. So I'll put 1, 0. And you're going to do this 40 times. What? What you're going to do is you're going to simulate, and this is what happens. You're going to simulate 40 different times that Lisa goes to the line and shoots free throws. Now, so just hold on 1 second before everybody just freaks out. So for me, I was at 1, 0. That's what I got for my first one. Because I got a 0 and an 8. You don't want to write down 0 and an 8. You just want to write down what you got. The nice thing about this, if you hit enter again, it'll redo it. So my next one was a 6 and a 2. Is a 6 a miss or a make?
Miss.
It's a miss. So I'll just write a 0 for number 2. And then for number 3, I get a 9 and a 7. You always look at the first one. Is the 9 a miss or a make? It's a miss. So I'll put a 0 down there. So go ahead and fill in all 40. What was that? This is what mine looks like so far. She made the first free throw, so she got 1 point, and then she got 0 points. She missed the first one, so she got 0 points and then 0 points. Go 1 and 1. 1, 1. Alright, so I'll go ahead and do this as well. 3 and 2, that's a 1 and a 1, which is nice. Yep. you could, if you wanted to, you could just put, you could have done 1, 0, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 2, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. You could have done that as well. When I do these, I like to put as much information on these as I can, because now when I look at this, I can tell, even though if it's a 2, I know that it's 1 and 1. If it's a 1, I know it's 1 and 0, and it's not 0 and 1. But I've always been of the opinion that you put down as much information as you can, because you want as much information on there as you can. So how many people are still going? Okay. Still going? Anybody still going? Okay. For those of you, I'll just give you a little bit of a hint. You might want to make a tally sheet, like kind of right next to it. How many zeros you got, how many ones you got, and how many twos you got. Because we're probably going to need those. Now, when I do this, when you're doing 40 of these and you're tallying up everything, sometimes it's kind of difficult to keep track and to count. What I do is I like to use different types of marks. For example, I use the dot for all the zeros. For the 1, I use a check mark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 of those. And for 2s, I'll just use something else. I'll use a line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I missed one of the ones, so that's actually a 9. And that's where it comes into play. I missed this one right here. It didn't have a question mark. So if you put a little mark next to it, then you know you might have missed one once you go through it. It's a whole lot easier that way, since you're looking at a lot of different things. So making a little frequency table, how frequently one of the 0 appeared 19 times. So she missed 19 opening. She missed the first free throw 19 times. So go ahead, tally that up. And then when you're done with that, flip over to the next page, and you might want to recopy your tally sheet at the top. Like, for example, 0, 1, 2. I know it was 19, 9, and 12. okay? Now, on the basis of your 40 trials, write down which one is the most likely to happen. All you have to do is look at your frequency table and figure out which one happened the most frequent. Just put down both and say it was a tie. Mine was 0. Yours could be 1 and 2 or 1 and 0, whatever it is. If it's a tie, great. If not, I mean, it's random. Here's another thing about probability that you want to think about. Don't start thinking things are good and bad or anything like that, because that doesn't matter at all. What matters is just the data. Now, in the context of a basketball game, having someone missing the front end of a 1-on-1 19 out of 40 times is bad, because you're throwing away free points. But for us as math people, we don't care. We just care that she missed it 19 times, because we're going to do math with it. So that's all we're doing with there. Now, only you can answer this. How does your outcome compare with your prediction? Is it equal to your prediction? Is it different than your prediction? That's what they're asking. If you predicted 2 and you got a 0 as your most common outcome, then you were off by a little bit. Alright, so that one's easy. You just say it's either equal to it or it's not equal to it, based on the evidence that you have. Now it says, what's the mean number of successful free throws? So how many did she make? So you can count those up. I know it's going to be over 40. She missed it 19 times. She made 1 9 times, so I'll get a 9 there. She made 2 12 times. So is that a 12 or is that 24? It's 24. Right, because if she made 2 12 times, you get 2 points per shot, or you get 2 points per situation. So that's 24. So and actually, she shot the ball more than 40 times, so I got to change that. So she got 33. She shot this 19 times. How many shots did she take here? If she got 1, that means she hit the first one and she got a second one, but missed it. So how many shots did she take total? 2 shots total per event. So I had 9, multiply that by 2, that gives you the 18. So in the bottom, I'll have 12 plus 18 plus 24, because I got to multiply that by 2, you get your 24. So it's 33 divided by, that's 30, that's 54. Actually, it's 19. 19 plus 18 plus 24. Because if she got 0 right, she took 19 shots and missed them all. If she got 1 point, she took 2 shots and made 1 of them. So that happened 9 times, so I have to multiply it by 2, and that's how I got 18. So out of the 18 shots, she made 9 of them. For here, she made 2 12 times. But that means she had 2 shots. So that I have to put 24 for that. So there's 19 where she missed. There's 18 where she made 9, and there's 24 where she made all of them. So I actually have to change this. (19 plus 18 plus 24). So that's 61. So that's based on the number that you have. So basically for 0, you just put that number there, whatever she got for 0. For these two, you got to multiply them by 2. And if I take 33 divided by 61, she had an average of 0.54, so she was below her normal average. What's her... Well, actually, her theoretical probability is going to be that 33 over 61. And her... Oh, this is for 1, 2, and 3. Now, what's the probability that she got a 0? Theoretical probability that she got a 0, it'd be 19 divided by what?
40.
Divided by 40. We could just leave it as 19 over 40. What's the probability that she only got 1? For mine. It was 9. You remember the 12 from the other one. So probability of 2, she got 2 12 times out of 40. So those are my probabilities that I have. Now, the expected value. To calculate the expected value, it's not in one game. Now for 0, I'm going to take 0 times, what's the probability? For me, the probability that she got 0 was 19 over 40. And then you add on 1, what's the probability that I got a 1? It was 9 over 40. Now your numbers might be different. Your numbers are probably going to be different. For 2, it was 12 out of 40. And so you plug that into your calculator. And I ended up getting an expected value of 1.075. Yours might be totally different, and that's fine. It's 100% fine based on your situation. Now, what I want you to do, and I know we only have 5 minutes, so you might be able to get a little bit started with this, at least set this up. You're gonna run the simulation for 2 free throws, for making 2 in a row. So, answer as much as you can now, and we'll finish it up when you come in tomorrow. You're basically gonna run, ladies and gentlemen, you're basically going to run the exact same simulation, but when you get to here and then you hit enter, both of them count. So that would be like making 1 and missing 1. You hit enter again, that would be missing the first one and making the second one, because you get 2 free throws. So you get to add both of them in together. So you have to work with both of them together.
So wait, how do we do 4C?
Well, for 4C, you look at the number you got in 4B and compare it to the number that you got in 3C.